Hello and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Addie and today we are working on the house that the Goths deserve. Because I don't know if you have spent a lot of time in The Sims, like The Sims 4 or not, but they got done terribly dirty. So we are working on their house now because frankly, I legitimately refuse to believe that Mortimer Goth grew up in like this giant mansion in The Sims 3 and then just decided to build or to buy like a shitty looking house. Like that does not check out for me. So if you're not familiar, the Goth house in The Sims 3 looked like this. Um, and if you are somehow not familiar with The Sims 4, Goth House, it is the only Goth house in The Sims 4, and it looks like this. So, you can see why I would consider it a downgrade. The Goth house in The Sims 3 was really cool. They had like this cool pond moat vibe going on, and then they had a like graveyard section. Super cool. Like the vibes were all there. And then The Sims 4, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know why they chose to put them on a tiny ass little lot. I don't know. I don't know anything. But they got done dirty. So we are building the house that they deserve here today. And I ended up deciding to build this on the 50 by 50 lot in Willow Creek. I did try to keep them in Willow Creek. And then let's see. Yeah, so it's the house that's normally vacant. The lot that the house is normally vacant. It's that big fancy house. It's supposed to be fancy. It's giving me like 1970s kind of. No, not even 1970s. Like 1950s kind of fancy. Which sounds kind of, or like 40. I don't know. I'm not a historian. It's giving me like old fancy. Like it's not been newly renovated. And yeah, that house was also ugly, but they don't get to live there. Nobody gets to live there. So this house is very big and very fancy. I've said that word like 80 billion times, but I think it is. So you have like a formal foyer or foyer if you're not, yeah. So we have like a fancy entryway, and then the stairs are in there. We have kind of like a ballroom section. It's not like open, like it is kind of open and empty in there, but it's got like a rug on it, so, or like on the floor in the middle, so it looks less empty. But there's like a piano in there and a violin. I think Cassie had a violin in her original room, so I did try to give her one. And then there's like a piano, like a grand piano, not a like standing piano. And then there is, let's see, there's a study area upstairs on like the landing. There's a couple of bookshelves, couple of seating areas, and then there's like a desk with like a fancy desk with a computer on it. And then then there's Cassie's room, there's Mortimer and Bella's room, and there is Alex's room up in the attic. I did try to make it kind of fancy. Like in his original room is kind of sad. Like there's nothing in it. I think there's a bed and like maybe a desk or like one of those science tables. I don't know, but there's not a lot in there. So I tried to give him a lot of stuff. And then I did imagine that they had a there's like a playroom up there, and I feel like Cassie probably played in that playroom as well. So we have that in there, and I think that's everything. But there's a lot in this house. They also have like gardens and things. I don't know. I don't think that was in the original like Sims 3 Goth house, but they do have that here. And then this is not by any means a limited pack build. Just in this like frame, there is romantic garden stuff, vampires, obviously the base game. In here we have growing together, more romantic garden stuff. Like there's a lot of vampires, a lot of realm of magic. There's university wallpaper on the outside, university freeze and trim. Like there's a lot of packs that are here. I think there's island living for some landscaping as well. So there's just a lot of packs. I apologize for that. And then I did try, Cassie originally had this like horrendous magenta bedroom. I changed that. I gave her a purple bedroom, and then Alex had a blue bedroom, so I did keep that. But I didn't like the magenta room. I felt like it was kind of ugly, so we change it. And then Alex's room does end up getting some windows, don't worry. I had like a tiny little bump out on the side, between like on the side of the two what do you call them, towers. So he has some windows. They are a little bit hidden by the towers, but I felt like that was okay. Like you don't need to see all the windows and like all the bump outs and everything. So we have that, and then we're inside now. We're getting some windows. And I do think that I start with the kitchen first, but I don't know that I like fully furnish it. I think I just lay it out. And then I was going to put the door to the bathroom in the kitchen. And then I changed my mind because I was like, oh, a bathroom in here would be nice too. So we have that. And then these windows are just plain because I felt like they clashed a lot with the wallpaper that I chose. And I did try a few others, but I liked it's not chaotic, but the like detail in this one from vampires. And then I did try the vampire counters, but we end up going with the jungle adventure counters because they're a little bit simpler and they have like the same color. So like the vampires ones are all kind of they're all like two-toned. And this one is technically two-toned, but they're like two-colored, with the exception of the white cabinet with the black countertops. Those are achromatic, so I'm pulling out my... Sorry. Achromatic means they're black and white. Like shaded from black to white or white to black or whatever. And I wanted like some color because this is not achromatic, it's like brown. So I wanted brown in the cabinets, but I didn't like having the very like saturated cabinet. Okay, if any of you are not familiar, my degree is in studio arts, so I apologize for using fancy art words. But I didn't like want the two-toned like black like saturated colors, like that was just a lot. So we changed it to the cabinet, the jungle adventure cabinets. And then in the bathroom, quite simple, just a sink and a toilet. The toilet, I did consider using the vampires one, but it didn't work under the window, so I did not get that one. And then I did move that door into the what will be the laundry room, into the living room instead of from the kitchen. And then we're getting these one of the windows on the back wall ends up getting changed out for a door because I realized at the end that there's no way to access the back from the back part of the porch. So we do end up changing that. Like you would have to go out the front door to go out the back. So if you were in the dining room, for example, you would have to go all the way through the front of the house to go around. Yeah, it was like a whole thing. So we got that. And then this room, I was like, wow, it's like very brown in here. And I wanted more red. So we tried these flowers and I really didn't know what style. So I was like sorting through a lot of the packs that I was using and it was like a thing. And I realized that I don't know if it was the lighting or not, but the this side table and that living or that like dining table, they're supposed to be the same like style and the same set, but they're not. They have like they don't match. The swatches don't match. So what's new? But we end up getting some red in here, and then we're getting another archway into the living room, and yeah, so kind of cool. Then I did imagine that the Goth family in The Sims 3 was like very proud of their vampire lineage. So, vampires did exist in The Sims 3. They came with the Sims 3 Supernatural expansion pack. Um, but in The Sims 4, I imagine that that was like kind of distant lineage. So we have this portrait of a couple of vampires. I don't know who those vampires are supposed to be, but we do have them. And then we have their portrait in the dining room. I imagine that Mortimer is the one with the vampire lineage, not Bella. I feel like Bella is like very human. And so, yeah, I feel like they are very proud of that. And then I decided to go with more of like a Queen Anne style. That is a style listed in the catalog that you can sort by. So I really tried to hone in on that one. They did get an organ, and then they got a bar, like a globe bar that's from Vintage Glamour. And then we get a TV, and the fireplace is very fancy. I did try to add a lot of red in here because the dining room doesn't have a lot of red. And then there weren't like the rug that I wanted was not listed as Queen Anne. So I just kept using it, even though it's not like the style that I wanted, because I still felt like it fit. And then I was going to use this coffee table from, I don't know where that's from, but it blended into the carpet too much. So we didn't get that. And then there's a lot of red in here, as you can see. So yeah, there's this room actually turned out kind of cute. I really like it. We've got like I did try to put like a little bookshelf, and then it wasn't listed as like Queen Anne style, so I was like, okay. Sims are really picky about that. Like if they like boho, for example, um, yeah, my experience with the like style preferences are that you can't have anything that's not that style. So if your sim likes Queen Anne style, then you can't have anything that's not listed as Queen Anne, which is really frustrating because then it's like you can't like what if there's no Queen Anne fucking counters? Luckily there are, but like what if there I don't think there's I think there's like I don't know. I don't know what there isn't a style of. I don't spend a lot of time sorting things by style, but like what if your sim only likes I don't know, gothic. I don't think gothic is a style listed, but like what if your sim doesn't like that? Then and you use goth countertops, but they only like boho. I think boho is listed as like island living. I think island living is listed as boho, but you don't get upper cabinets because island living didn't come with matching upper cabinets. So it's just annoying because your Sims like are like, oh, that one thing is not the style preference, so I don't like it. I don't like the entire room. And it's like, don't eat my Atticus is trying to eat the corner of my monitor. But it's just annoying because it's like, you're stupid. It's well decorated in the style that you like. Why can't you just get over the fact that the fireplace is actually classed as vintage instead of bohemian or whatever, you know? And if they like multiple styles, then it's fine. But like, what if they only like bohemian? You know? Yeah. So I talked over the like, what's it called? The like ballroom area. There, you'll see that there was that fancy grand piano in there, and a couple of benches and a radiator and a fireplace. So we are in the kitchen now, and there's like a tiny little breakfast table with only a couple of chairs because I did want your Sims to use the dining room the instead of eating in the kitchen. And then we do have a thermostat and a fire alarm, so don't worry. Um, and there's not a lot of clutter. So that's like kitchen clutter that's classed as Queen Anne. So we don't have a lot of clutter, which is fine. And then these are bar stools that I custom placed because I didn't want your Sims using them to eat. They might still, but they shouldn't, because they're not, like attached to the counter. So it should be okay, but they might still eat there. And then this was actually, I was trying a few different other things, and I found this swatch of the rug from Cottage Living. I was going to say Growing Together. Cottage Living. Oh God, excuse me. And I thought it went well, so I use it a couple of times, as you can see. And this is the entry. It's kind of simple. There's just like a chair and then a side table, and it's only got like a lamp, which doesn't slot, so I had to raise it up, which is annoying, and a plant, which I use this one. Where is it? This one, it's from the Blooming Rooms kit, which might still be free. I'm not sure, but yes, it is from there. And then we get that painting, and some lights. And then we move into the the laundry room, not the living room, the laundry room. And these are the only shelves that are classed as Queen Anne, and I didn't really like them, but that's okay. So those are in there, and then we do get the hampers, because unlike The Sims 3, laundry, you can just put laundry hampers wherever, and then your Sims will they'll just like spawn the laundry into the hamper, so it doesn't matter. And I did get a couple of mirrors because those are useful for charisma and acting and a couple other things. And I'm getting lights in here, some like sconces, and then a couple of clutter items. Again, there's not a lot of clutter that's listed as Queen Anne, so we didn't have a lot of options, but I do like how it turned out. And then up here we have, I'm getting the doors and stuff. The purple room is Cassie's, and then the stairs lead up into Alex's room. And I'm getting I'm getting the doors and everything in there. And I decided to not use that tower because I felt like it was a lot of bathrooms for one space. And then this is Cassie's room, or Cassie's bathroom, not her room. Imagine if she slept in the bathroom. That would be kind of sad. And so this is her room, or her bathroom. I said it again. Anyway, this is her bathroom. And Atticus wants to climb in the window, so give me 2 seconds. Here, look. There. So yeah. Also, this is not a budget build. I don't know if you've noticed, but I have been adding like a shit ton of money every once in a while. So this is not a budget build. I have added like 25K like 4 times now. So yeah. Cassie's traits, I did look, and Cassie's traits are that she is gloomy, creative, and she wants to be a writer. So I did include some nods to that because like this is her room, and so I felt like that was an appropriate addition. And we are in trying to figure out a couple of things. I wanted to use that fountain, but I don't know if I actually ever found a place. And then I changed the wallpaper to be this purpley color, and the color scheme ends up being like this purple and like rose color. So that's it ends up, I think, turning out pretty cute. Um, it is a little bit, it was inspired by that painting a little bit. The frame is like a reddish purple color. So it was kind of pretty. And then I end up moving the gallery wall around a little bit because there was just nothing that was fitting in that tiny little space. So we got that, and then I sized down this painting and we had to move it a little bit, but I think it worked out and I think it looks good. And I get a rug and I get this rug, and that sort of or no, maybe I get this one. And then I was like, this is really purple. So I sorted it out by vintage, I think. And this is where the pink starts coming in, like that pretty like rust rose color. And Atticus, come on, no, quit, go lay down. And that's where that rose color comes in. Sorry, he's being really chaotic. And he's 9 months, and he's like 15 pounds. So he's not exactly like a small cat to be jumping around and like trying to climb on windowsills that are like half an inch wide, and it's like a whole thing. Anyway, so we got that pretty rose bed from university, and I switched out the paranormal side table for a different paranormal side table. It's more of like the color of that frame. And we have this pretty lady. Again, I felt like she's supposed to be a vampire, I think. So I felt like having a vampire portrait was kind of on par with the like lore that we had go there that I had going. And because again, if Mortimer was like descended from vampires, but is like not a vampire himself because of, whatever reason, maybe like one of his parents wasn't, and he just didn't get the gene to make him a vampire or whatever. So he's not, so Cassie's not, obviously, but they do have like vampire blood or whatever, like vampire lineage. So having that in her room kind of felt like it would work. And this rug, the rug situation was dire. I decided on this one, but I didn't really like it because I'd used it so much that it was kind of hurting my eyes again. So, or like it was starting to hurt my eyes. So, yeah. And then I was going to use this swatch of the rug, of the vampire's rug, but it was blue, and that's not really like Bella's style. She's definitely like a red gal. So yeah. So I used this one, the one from the kitchen and the entryway, and I decided to get a globe bar, but I rotated it so that it's not functional, so that your Sims wouldn't just like spontaneously decide to use it. I don't think they can like stand and make drinks at it, but they do have, I didn't want your Sims to do that. So yeah, we're in here, and then we have this bed. I don't know if I end up keeping this bed. It's from Vampires, and we've got a couple of sconces on the wall. And this room was kind of hard to fill up. So we have this rug, and I don't know if I end up keeping that color or not, but I guess we'll find out. And I tried to do like a red and gray color scheme in here. So yeah, we have that. And then over here is like Bella's area to get ready. I imagined that they would each have their own area to get ready in the morning. So she's got a vanity and like a wardrobe and stuff. She's got a little rug that I've been avoiding using because I felt like it was really bright and it didn't go with the rest of the area or the rest of the build. And then we've got, I'm adding more money, and we've got I end up using like a desk, I think, for Mortimer's side, but it's supposed to function kind of the same as Bella's vanity table. But there's like no function to it because like there's no computer. And then we're getting a few lamps around the place, and I end up getting like a games table, so that was kind of cool. And then again, I changed it all to gray because that was the color scheme of her room, or their room. It's not just Bella's room, it's Mortimer's room too. I felt like Mortimer definitely let Bella go like all out in this room. And this is the bathroom. Obviously we end up getting the black and white counters from Vampires because I felt like they kind of matched a little bit, and we get I think we end up getting the mirrors from Vintage Glamour. I felt like they matched better than any of the ones that were listed as Queen Anne, and they were like they're still like Vintage Glamour, so it's kind of fun. We have some storage in here, a little chair. So your Sims might come upstairs to eat their food, but it's fine. You can always like, I don't know. I wish you could list chairs, like you can list sinks as like bathroom sinks or kitchen sinks. But yeah, so we'll see. And then we do get a little toilet closet before moving upstairs to Alex's floor. He does get his own floor because he's like the only kid. Um, I feel like Cassie, when she was a kid, probably ended up playing in there a lot more than she does now that she's a teen. And then I did try to add in I was gonna add in what's it called? Like a ceiling light, a ceiling window. But it didn't work very well with how I had the roof, so I added that bump out that I talked about earlier, and we got some windows that way. And then he does have that like study space, so there are some windows in there. And then we do get some curtains just for some privacy because I imagined that room was probably a storage room. And then Alex came along and they were like, oh, this kid will need a room. So they did they like renovated the storage room, and they like I don't know if they put an archway or not, but they definitely renovated the storage room to make room for Alex. And so so there's what this is. And then I did feel like Alex would have more of like an Art Deco kind of vibe, instead of the Queen Anne vibe that we had been going for, like a luxe and Art Deco. And I don't know a lot about Art Deco, so I was looking at some what are they called? Some like reference photos, but I couldn't really find like good interior photos that gave me an idea of what that looked like. So we just sort of went off of what I thought. Because I have no idea. I don't like Art Deco very much. I think it's kind of bold, and I am not a very bold, I'm bold, but I'm not like colorful. So, yeah. So I have yeah. So let me know if you like Art Deco and if this is actually anything to do with that. So yeah, so we're in his room now, and he is like the son of one of the wealthy families in town. So I did feel like his room would be kind of fancy. Like he has a double bed, even though I imagine he's only like 9, like 8 or 9, and he has the void critter thing. He's very into space. So I tried to do a lot of like science and space stuff. So he's got a few like space themed projects, like school projects. He's got the space themed tent from Dream Home Decorator. There's a few like drawings and things. And then I have no idea what Atticus just knocked over, but I'll find it later. And So he's got a lot of stuff going on in here. And I end up changing the lights. Yeah, there we go. I end up changing the light to be white instead of the blue one. And then we get the like bolder, more vibrant blue one in the like study area for him. And then we're going through and adding the playroom. I didn't really know what to put in here because like they're not very like there's not a lot of stuff for kids that I hadn't or like a lot of stuff that I hadn't already put other places. So we get like a few things. We have like a bookshelf and some toys and stuff. And then we get a couple of couches. And I initially put this peach color and then I decided that I did not like it. So we end up changing it to more like a brown color. Atticus, come on, dude, get a grip. And we have some games and stuff over there. Sorry, he is being very chaotic today. Normally he's not this way. But he's also like, think like a teenage boy. So, it's not exactly like the most pleasant time of his life, for him or for anyone else. Zilla's my dog. Zilla is very, bothered by him most days. Anyway, so we are coming to the end of the video now. So if you like this, if you would like and subscribe, that would really mean a lot. We're just putting some last minute touches on the outside, some lights and stuff, and I will see all of you in the next video. Bye.